You wanted it, you got it. Boxing Ego has obtained a copy of Terence Crawford's lawsuit against Bob Arum and Top Rank. Oh, we're going to discuss that coming up. We unpack. Stay tuned. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxing Ego Unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Yo, what up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. The fans asked for it. Your boy Ego delivered. I've obtained a copy of Terence Crawford's lawsuit against Top Rank and Bob Arum. I made a previous video, so I advise you guys check that video before you get into this video. This is going to talk about some of the other things that I didn't highlight in that specific video. So check out part 1. Terence Crawford, he claims that Bob Arum's revolting racial bias has hurt his career. Now, New York Post chose to highlight that aspect of the lawsuit, and it's not incorrect, but it's also not fully transparent as to some of the other talking points in this particular lawsuit. What I mean is this: that element of him, Bob Arum, and Top Rank not necessarily catering to black fighters or, you know, showing the same love, that is very much from my interpretation of it. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I ain't passed the bar, but I know a little bit, you know. My interpretation of what I've read, which we will get into shortly, my interpretation is there's much more like meat and potatoes to this lawsuit, and you know, we'll see how Terence Crawford does. Now, I have to make this very known and very clear as I get into a topic. This video is not about legal counsel. I'm not a lawyer. I don't work for Terence Crawford. I don't work for, this is not a case I'm working on. I'm just giving you my interpretation of the events and you know, what I'm reading and whatnot, because I've seen so far since I've been talking about this on my live stream, a lot of people, well, I can't even say a lot, but some people have taken what I've said and in a weird malicious attempt to try to spin what I'm saying, I just feel like some people need to work on their comprehension skills. You know, I don't want to mince my words. They got to work on their comprehension skills, because I said certain elements and I said a very simple statement, and it's really not hard to understand, but some people have, again, a difficult time comprehending. So basically what I said in my live stream regarding this whole issue with Terence Crawford, this is not my case. I'm not trying the case. I'm not a judge, jury, and executioner. It doesn't have anything to do with me, really, right? You know what I mean? Other than me reporting boxing. But I made some statements and I said that in the court of law, in the U.S. judicial system, you can allege certain aspects, but depending on the evidence, it's one thing to allege somebody did something, but proving it is something completely different. Now, again, Terence Crawford and his legal counsel, they probably wouldn't take it to a formal lawsuit if they didn't feel they had anything and it was a waste of time. But again, when you're saying Crawford shines a spotlight on systemic racism that runs through Top Rank's complete inability to properly promote, this is what's highlighted in yellow, promote black fighters, Top Rank, Arum, his stepson, Todd DeBuff, disparate treatment of black fighters, including Terence Crawford, etc. These things become harder to prove. So in my early videos, I didn't say, some people said, oh, you're saying Terence Crawford is going to lose the case. I'm not the judge. It's not up to me to determine if he's going to win or lose the case. I don't know what things you guys think you're hearing, but I speak very clearly and eloquently, and I know what I say because I'm there when I say it. So without further ado, we're going to take a look at, again, my interpretation of the documents that I've researched and read and prepared for this video. I didn't say Terence Crawford is guaranteed going to win or lose his case. It's not my case to decide. I'm just giving you the facts. But what I say stands. It's not proving something, proving a fault, especially like systemic racism. You know what I mean? That's a burden you're going to have to be prepared for. That's all I said. But upon further review, actually obtaining copy of the lawsuit, there's much deeper implications outside of just the whole racial bias part. See, that's the part that's been highlighted, I guess you can say, on social media, like in this particular article. But it's actually much deeper. There's like breach of contract and different things that were promised to Terence Crawford, again, upon further review that I looked into, and we'll get into that right now. So what you're seeing on screen, this is an actual copy of the written formalized lawsuit. 2018 exclusive promotional rights agreement, Section C. Crawford signed his original promotional rights agreement with Top Rank on or about 2011. On or about 2018, August 22, with approximately 2 years left on his prior promotional rights agreement. So they're telling you in 2011, Terence Crawford signed with Top Rank, and on or about August 22nd of 2018, he had 2 years left on his prior initial promotional rights agreement that was entered between Crawford and Top Rank. The parties entered into an exclusive promotional rights agreement, the quote 2018 agreement, whereby Top Rank continued to have the exclusive rights to cover and promote Crawford's services as a professional boxer. Crawford will provide this court with a copy of that 2018 agreement upon Top Rank's approval. So I guess he's going to submit that contract that he did, right? It says the initial term of the 2018 agreement was to commence on the date of the first bout after signing the 2018 agreement. So this is when Terence Crawford signed an extension before the Jose Benavidez fight, right? 2018, because he moved up to welterweight. I believe it was 2017, became a champion his first fight against Jeff Horn. So that's what this is referring to. This is why you guys got to subscribe to my channel. I'm the best doing it when it comes to this boxing and breaking it down. No other place is going to break it down like your boy Ego. It says, but in no event later than October 13th. So they're saying that the terms of the contract started, you know, it says unless terminated sooner or extended further pursuant to various provisions of the 2018 agreement, blah, blah, blah. Crawford's first bout under the agreement was a 12th round knockout win over Jose Benavidez Jr., which is exactly what I said, the extension. Says where Crawford retained his WBO title, improved his record, blah, blah, blah. During the term of this agreement, so we'll just say that 2018 agreement, Top Rank was contractually required to offer Crawford the right to participate in 2 bouts per year. So again, outside of the bias and all that, this is the meat and potatoes that I talked about earlier. It says, in addition, this 2018 Crawford is saying that he signed right before the Jose Benavidez fight. Top Rank was contractually required, according to their interpretation or their allegations, to give Crawford 2 fights. Crawford's compensation under that 2018 agreement was based on the platform that each fight was televised, ESPN or another linear television network, ESPN Plus or pay-per-view. It says Section D, Top Rank breaches that 2018 exclusive promotional rights agreement. So the extension, it says pursuant to that 2018 agreement, Top Rank was obliged to offer Crawford 2 fights per year for each of the years between October 13th, 2018, October 12th, 2019, October 13th, 2019, and it says October 12th, 2020, and and October 13th, 2020 in October. So basically each year he was supposed to have, from that moment on, he was supposed to have 2 fights. During the first year of the 2018 agreement, Top Rank offered Crawford 2 fights between that, Jose Benavidez and Amir Khan. Crawford was paid $3.5 million to fight Benavidez plus $45,000 in his training expenses. So in the Benavidez fight, he made $3.5 million. It says, and he got $4.8 million. So the rumors were true. Amir Khan made more money than Terence Crawford. I mean, that's not what they're suing for. It's just a sidebar. So now that it's documented and this is being submitted by Team Crawford's representation, Crawford, his business is out. He made $4.8 million plus $50,000 for training experiences or expenses for the Amir Khan pay-per-view. It says during the second year of that 2018 agreement, Top Rank offered Crawford only one. They said only one fight. Only one fight in that agreement, right? So this is here lies the breach of contract, right? They're saying like you owed Crawford between this date and this date, 2018 and 2019, from this date to this date, 2019, 2020, and from this date in 2020 to 2021, he was supposed to be offered 2 fights, and they breached that, right? They said he only offered him 1 fight between October 13, 2019 and October 12, 2020, which was the Mean Machine fight. Crawford was paid $4 million plus an additional $50,000 for training expenses. I don't know why I keep saying experiences. Top Rank breached the 2018 agreement by failing to offer Crawford a second fight in year 2 of that agreement. It says during the third year of this 2018 agreement, Top Rank offered Crawford 2 fights between the dates Kell Brook and Sean Porter. With the bout held, blah, blah, blah. Crawford was paid $3.5 million for the Brook bout. It's weird that he got more money for the Mean Machine fight, but I guess it was maybe because of Kell Brook's pay. And he says he got $6 million for the Porter bout. Top Rank also paid Crawford $50,000 in training expenses for both of these bouts. At all times during the 2018 agreement, Crawford was healthy and ready, willing and able to, and ready to compete in professional boxing matches. His average compensation under the 2018 agreement was approximately $4.5 million per bout. Thus, Top Rank owes Crawford no less than $4.5 million for its breach of the 2018 agreement by failing to provide Crawford with a second fight during the second year of the 2018 agreement. So they're basically saying between said dates of this agreement, he was supposed to be more active per their agreement. So they're saying he's saying this is why I signed an extension and they didn't do their part. You guys get me? And then there's another section, Section E, says Top Rank fraudulently entered into and breached the 2019 Mean Machine Championship bout agreement. Number 43, October 19, 2019, Top Rank and Crawford entered a championship bout agreement for a 12-round bout for Crawford to defend his belt against Mean Machine. Both Arum and Todd DeBuff negotiated the 2019 bout agreement with Crawford on Top Rank's behalf. During the negotiations in or about October of that year, Crawford and his negotiating team informed Arum and Todd DeBuff that he would not take the fight for the $4 million being offered to him. Arum and DeBuff informed Terence Crawford that he should take the offer because a fight with Errol Spence Jr. was right around the corner and that Top Rank could quickly make a Spence versus Crawford fight happen. In fact, Arum and Todd DeBuff says Top Rank would include a Spence bonus in the 2019 Mean Machine bout agreement in excess of $900,000, the Arum and Todd DeBuff Spence representations, because they were confident they could make a fight with Crawford and Spence before the end of 2020. This made the Mean Machine fight worth it for Terence Crawford. And damn. So, I mean, this is a lot. It says representations. Crawford agreed to then fight Mean Machine under the money terms offered to him. 2019 Mean Machine bout agreement contained a bonus provision that entitled Crawford to a bonus in excess of almost $1,900,000, which Top Rank was required to pay Crawford on or before December 31st, 2020, if Errol Spence Jr. was physically able to compete in a professional boxing bout, and Top Rank was unable to offer Crawford a fight with Spence on or before December 31st, 2020, called the Spence bonus provision. Crawford will provide this court with a copy of the 2019 bout agreement upon Top Rank's approval. So basically, it's pretty clear. It's outlined pretty clear. But just to give you my interpretation, Top Rank, according to Team Crawford and his legal counsel and representation now, and that's a whole separate subject who Crawford got. Crawford's he a dog. He a dog because he got a top quality dude representing him. So we'll see how this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But anyway, so basically, since I'm doing the unpack and some people don't understand the legal jargon and, you know, they don't have the attention span to listen to all the sentences, let me give you my interpretation of it. So in 2019, in December, he fought his mandatory Mean Machine. Apparently Crawford, according to his team, Crawford was not feeling that fight, but they sweetened the pot by enticing him by saying, we'll give you the Errol Spence fight. So just go ahead with the Mean Machine mandatory fight, even though you don't really think this is great for where you're at in your career. And I guess you want bigger fights or whatever. And we'll promise you the Errol Spence fight. If we do not promise you the Errol Spence fight, or if we cannot secure you the Errol Spence fight between now and December 31st, 2020, so basically give us a year. And if we haven't got you the Errol Spence fight, then we'll give you $900,000, or at minimum, it says a bonus in excess of $900,000. So now it's all making sense. It all makes sense. It's all making sense why that relationship was souring, because Top Rank and Bob Arum, now I see why he was throwing him under the bus, because he's spending a lot of money and then he's saying Crawford wasn't making him money and they're ponying up. Top Rank, you know, let's just be honest. Bob Arum, you want to call him frugal, cheap, frugality, whatever you want to call it. Bob Arum don't like to pony up and have big purses that are being paid out. So this, according to legal documents obtained by your boy Boxing Ego, because I'm the best doing this, they were ponying up and paying Crawford a lot more, because like you have to look at Tyson Fury. Okay, he was making a lot of money, but he was also fighting Deontay Wilder on successful pay-per-views, and their live gates and stuff were crazy because they were working with PBC. So those fights weren't buses, like just pure bust. Crawford's fighting Mean Machine, and you're paying him whatever it said, $3 million, 3 point something. You know, there's a lot of individual purses, and you're offering him almost $1 million bonus. You're offering him about $1 million. Okay, so I don't know. I don't remember exactly what that purse was for that particular bout, but it says he would not take the fight for the $4 million. Okay, that's what it. So he got $4 million plus this $100, $900K, whatever. $900K bonus being offered if they couldn't secure him the Errol Spence fight. Now, this is crazy because listen, your boy Ego, I told you I'm out here working. While they resting, I'm working. I'm the best in the business. Errol Spence, just listen to what this is saying. It says they made this deal. Peep this, because I was there. I was at Errol Spence fought Sean Porter in 2019. That's a fact, because I was there. I was at that fight. I covered that fight. I got a credential for that fight. It was lit. We was in the Staples Center. I was out there in LA. Let's get it. Smash the like button. Share the video. So Errol Spence fought him in like September of 2019. I remember the card well. My boy Joey Spencer and Mario Barrios was on it. David Benavidez versus Anthony Durrell was on it. It was about August or September of 2019. Very shortly after that, Errol Spence got in that heinous car wreck, as you guys see. Look, so he got in a car wreck like in October, like the beginning of October. Because I remember there was really bad fires out here in California where I'm at, right? So he got in a car wreck right around that same time. Like it was like weeks after the fight. You know, it was about weeks after the fight, right? With he was hospitalized last October. So weeks after the Sean Porter war, he got in this car wreck. So listen to what this is saying. Top Rank promised Terence Crawford that they would deliver him, fight Mean Machine, stick to the plan, and we'll give you at least $900K. So $900K to $1 million plus if we can't deliver you the Errol Spence fight before December 31st, 2020. So they used Errol Spence's name, a fighter not signed to Top Rank. How you gonna promise him anything and Errol Spence got man down promotions and you ain't made the fight with Terence Crawford this many years? How you gonna promise to get him a fight by December 31st, 2020, you know, 2020 or whatever, in the year that they had a pandemic, which you didn't know about when you did a 2019 agreement? How are you gonna promise that? You can't promise something like, listen, for so many, I'm telling you, I'm giving y'all the signs, you gotta listen. Listen, they made a bout agreement for the Mean Machine and they put Errol Spence as a provision. Nobody in 2019 in boxing knew that we were going to, in March of 2020, go through this 2-year plus pandemic that we're still in. So how do you promise something that far out? Furthermore, as I just mentioned, how do you promise a fighter that's not even in your roster? It's not like promising Shakur Stevenson, Oscar Valdez, and they're both under the same Top Rank umbrella. So that already doesn't make sense. So you can already see this is shifty. Then, okay, it's like kind of like a bonus, a friendly bet type of thing. But I guess this was in a contract. The other thing that's very shifty about this is in 2019. You said, hey, we'll give you Errol Spence by December 31st of next year. But this was weeks after the unification, as I mentioned, with Sean Porter. He was in a heinous car wreck, and this is the wreckage. Boom. This is the wreckage. So Bob Arum was doing interviews, and he was telling the whole world that he don't know if Errol Spence will be able to walk again. He said he has it on good authority that Errol Spence, you know, he may never be able to fight again. And there were people who were out there and they were really wondering if Errol Spence's career was done. So that looks insanely unreasonable for you to A, promise a fighter who's not under your umbrella, B, after the guy gets in such a bad wreck where Bob Arum himself stated that Errol Spence may never be the same and may never fight. Bob Arum said that. I'm going to pull it up. Listen, I'm the best in the business. I'm going to pull it up. Bob Arum said that, even though it wasn't true, because we've seen Errol Spence come back and he looked great, you know? But I'm saying at a time, how are you writing contracts with Errol Spence's name and promising him and you telling the whole world that Errol Spence may never walk again, may never fight again? This looks extremely fishy, people. Says Top Rank failed to offer Errol Spence Jr. a fight to Crawford on or before December 31st, 2020. And even though Spencer, which is a typo, is Spence, was, see, I'm finding they need to pay me. I'm finding they typos and stuff. Look, it says Spencer, like it's Joey Spencer. It's Spence. It says even though Spence was physically able to compete in a professional boxing at that time. Moreover, Top Rank did not pay the bonus. So they, oh my, I'm done. They didn't pay him the $900K to Crawford under the Spence bonus as set forth in that agreement, which is a breach of said agreement. Upon information and belief at the time Top Rank entered the 2019 bout agreement, Top Rank knew there would not be a Crawford-Spence fight pursuant to the terms of the Spence bonus set forth. Top Rank needed Crawford to just sign the 2019 Mean Machine bout in order to honor his obligations to ESPN and they fraudulently entered into the 2019 Mean Machine bout agreement with Spence. Oh, wow. So basically, long story short, he got duped. Crawford believes now, in hindsight, that they never had the Errol Spence fight. It wasn't like a fight on speed dial that they could secure. He still ain't got the Errol Spence fight, but hook, line, and sinker. They told him, hey, go with the program, because it sounds like Terence Crawford started getting resistant to taking fights like, let's say, Mean Machine, where he didn't feel the fight was of much benefit to his career. And as a result, he was like, nah, I don't want to fight Mean Machine. ESPN and Top Rank, they owed a marquee fighter like Top Rank to close their calendar in December, because keep in mind, here's another thing that they can actually use in the legal proceedings. Terence Crawford, for Top Rank, when he fought Mean Machine, if you look it up, that was the highest watched regular ESPN show that they did that year. It was the only fight for Bob Arum and Top Rank in 2019. I remember these things. It was the only fight in 2019 that did over 1 million views in watch. So they needed that for, clout with ESPN to give them a December fight. In that fight card, they had Teofimo on the undercard, and it delivered. They also had Mick Connellan on the undercard. It was a triple header, and that one delivered the best results that they did. So they needed Crawford. So this lawsuit is alleging that they lured him in with something that they had no intentions or could not deliver. And then when they couldn't deliver, instead of paying Crawford that extra money, because you have to keep in mind the pandemic happened, so Top Rank probably lost money, and they're like, nah, we ain't paying you $900K or $1 million just for nothing. And especially when you leaving us. Oh, this is messed up, man. This is a lot of stuff. And this is why I'm the best in the business. I pulled it up for you because I know y'all, I want to show y'all the facts. So look, Top Rank Boxing, it says Crawford Mean Machine was on another level. Saturday night was a record breaker, becoming the most viewed boxing event on cable of 2019. So now with this lawsuit, look, and they did a graphic for it and everything. So I got all the stats. It said Crawford Mean Machine was the most viewed boxing event on cable in 2019 with the peak viewership of 1.65. So now you can see why Top Rank needed to deliver, because if you look at 2019, this is why Crawford, he might have a real case now that I'm looking at the detail. In 2019, they did not have one other fight because Teofimo was on this undercard. So he hadn't fought Lomachenko. That didn't happen until the next year, right? Top Rank needed to deliver a hit to close off their fiscal year in December. And obviously Crawford was the most viewed boxing event on cable. So they really needed Crawford to deliver in that type of star power, because we know it wasn't Mean Machine. He wasn't a big name, but Crawford always draws good, or usually draws pretty good numbers if he's fighting on regular ESPN. I don't know about him on pay-per-view. Those haven't seemed to do well, but when he fights like Jose Benavidez and Kell Brooks and stuff, he's drawing good numbers. So now it's being alleged by Terence Crawford's team that he was pawned, he was like reeled in to doing this fight, and he was told that, hey, sign this, go with this program, and we'll get you Errol Spence. And if we don't, then we'll basically give you $900K, almost $1 million, or about $1 million for our failure to do it. But on so many levels, that seems extremely weird. How are you going to promise a fighter that's not under your network or your roster? How are you going to promise a guy who just got in the worst accident? Anybody who watched the Errol Spence tape knows that was a crazy looking accident. And Bob Arum himself was saying that Errol Spence would never be the same. And he said he talked to people. So Terence Crawford may have a real life claim here if he has all this stuff backed up paperwork wise, and he got the lawyer that they say he got and all that, because that looks suspect how you're going to promise that, especially when you previously outed Al Heyman and PBC and said they were the blame and they don't want to make the fight. I don't know. It's getting crazy. Bob Arum said that Al Heyman doesn't want to make the fight because he's telling his fighters, especially black fighters, to listen to him. He was saying all types of stuff. So knowing all that, why would you make this provision or this agreement where you're going to promise Crawford the fight? And then Crawford's alleging, I only went with the Mean Machine fight because y'all told me y'all was going to give me the Errol Spence fight. So now it's making sense why post-fight after Sean Porter, where he said that right to Bob, he says, if Bob couldn't secure me the Errol Spence fight when I was with him, how's he going to give me that Errol Spence fight when I'm not with him? But I wish everybody luck, because he already knew the next step, he was going to sue them. You know, I'm pretty sure. And the other thing, this lawsuit, I'm gonna leave y'all with that, because I feel like I did a pretty good job unpacking this, but there's a lot more to this story. But one of the other things is Terence Crawford also believes in this lawsuit is basically saying, just to give you guys the cliff notes, basically suggesting that Bob Arum went on a smear campaign and tirade to denigrate Terence Crawford's brand, which is the opposite of what a promoter should do, you know, keyword, operative word, promote, you know. And he's saying he went on this smear campaign to instead hurt his brand because they probably felt that he wasn't re-signing. So then Bob Arum started doing them interviews with The Athletic saying, oh, Crawford sucks and, you know, he can't sell, he don't got no personality, blah, blah, blah. But boom, your boy Ego got all the facts. Look at what I pulled up for you guys. Bob Arum in September 6, 2018 was saying something quite different. He says Terence Crawford is one of the world's best boxers, and with the help of ESPN, he's going to be one of the most recognizable. I'm thrilled that Top Rank has re-signed him. So in September 6, 2018 at 9:18 a.m., Bob Arum on his verified page was thrilled that Terence Crawford re-signed. It was all good just a week ago. That obviously didn't work out, and over the years, Bob Arum appeared to grow this disdain for Terence Crawford and, you know, began slandering his name and saying he can't sell. He wasn't talking to, oh, Crawford's going to be one of the most recognizable. He was saying he has no spark, no personality. He need to be like Shakur. He got to do like Floyd Mayweather. He got to be like Teofimo, and it was completely different. So, you know, we'll see how this plays out. I can't say that I didn't tell you, because you know I told you so. Ego Shadamba strikes again. I'm the best in the business. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this unpack. This lawsuit is getting deep, y'all. I don't even know what else y'all want me to say. So stay tuned. Subscribe for the next video. It's going to be interesting to see where this goes. Terence Crawford got a powerhouse lawyer, and he's charged up. He really feels he has a case. And if he has this stuff documented, then he might really have a case. Again, I'm not the judge. I told you at the beginning, I'm not the judge, jury. I'm not in charge of the outcome of this. I'm just giving you the facts. But from looking at this, if he has this a paper trail and they said, oh, we're going to give you $900K if we don't give you Errol, we all know he didn't get the Errol Spence fight because they haven't fought yet. So it's going to be, man. Ego Shadama strikes again. What can I say? Smash the like button. I'm the best in the business. You dig, and I'm out. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster.